leadership takes responsibility, political leaders take responsibility of leadership failure. It is obvious that from our argument now, it's obvious that our opponents, as in you have no words, as in you don't know what you're talking about. You are already acknowledging the fact that political leaders are the problems of our leadership society today. Talking about money embezzlement. So, you know, in Nigeria today we have bill of exchange. What we say bill of exchange. Our leaders now, they make bills and siphon it to themselves, thereby making their own pocket out of that bills. Talking about money embezzlement today, the tiny European Principality of Luxembourg, as in, what I mean by tiny European Principality of Luxembourg, they are into, how would I say, bringing out fraudsters. They found out about the late Sonny Abacha, who had up to 8 different political accounts in Europe, which was about $600 million US. As in, they siphon our money outside instead of bringing it into our country, trying to establish our country, trying to establish the firm, the health sector, the political sector, the banking sector. They thereby carry our money into Europe, make it now, because once the money now are being found, once the siphon money now are being recovered by the European government, there is no way our African leaders can encounter that money back. Thereby now, it makes now the Europe now being so versatile, being so large with our money. Then they now use, the Europeans now use our money, the siphon money they get from our African leaders, in establishing loans, giving out loans to we Africans. Instead of the money that we have now, we start just thinking of paying back debts. See that I don't need your question now. Thereby paying back debts that we use in creating economic establishment in our country, creating the hospitality, creating good roads. Amen. Just check out now. Talking about, I don't need it now, later. Failure to contracts. You now see that our political leaders now, they have contracts. When they have contracts, they give it to who honor is due. They give it to either their brothers, give it to people they can control, giving it to people that they can collect from. As in, so when time for payment comes, they have in their pocket. Talking about leadership failure, I'm talking about Dimeji Bankole. They take our money outside Nigeria, take it to Europe, as in investing it there, as in making Europe feel more so versatile that we can't even complement with them. Let's look on the issue of war. Our leaders create wrong policies. Thereby, sometimes it leads to war. Now let's look in the case of, now we have up to like 16 good African countries who are into war today. Because of what? Leadership failure.
Which of the presidents have made the law that led to war? Can you answer that? Which of the laws led to a war?
Okay, I'll go on that. Talking about 16 good, just listening very attentively. Talking about 16 good countries who are into leadership failure, who are into wars because of the failure of leadership. Talking about Uganda.
What policy did they make?
The policy they made, they were into, okay, Rwanda and Uganda, they are into close wars now because they had close references. They were into the same reinforcement, they were into the same entanglements, they were into the same, so because of that, they couldn't find any fact anymore again, they couldn't challenge themselves. So now the Rwanda president now becomes so high, but the Uganda president now cannot find himself in any way. So because of that influence now, he is now annoyed and in the fact that he's creating war against the Rwanda. Talking about Ethiopia and Eritrea, they are beginning that, I don't need it. They are beginning that 2 years war. They are referring back their 2 good years war that they forgot because of what? Leadership failure. The leaders of Ethiopia and leaders of Eritrea, they are not in how would I put it? They are not in any common understanding anymore because they don't understand themselves. I feel that this minute I've been able to convince my opponents and not to confuse.